Hello, it's Domain Day from CheapWineFinder.com, and we have an inexpensive rosé today from Aldi, $5.99. Let me grab the bottle so I don't mess up the label, and it is, I better go fast, Rosé-Vous with a question mark, 2020. It's going to get loud in a second, so I'll be quiet. Okay, they're down to business now. Rosé-Vous kind of translates to Rosé Y'all. So it's like, I don't know if the French had that in mind. Well, actually, the Aldi might have had that in mind. And this is from the Languedoc region, which is along the Mediterranean Ocean in the south of France. Provence is east. And while Provence is well known for their rosés, it's about all they do. And Languedoc is the jack of all trades. They make all different kinds of wines in the Languedoc. They're the largest growing region in France. That's where everybody gets their day-to-day wines. It's also the largest rosé region. It beats Provence, and it has a lot of very affordable wines. It has their share of expensive wines, but it's the cheap wine finder's favorite place in France, I guess. Aldi, let's take a sip. Aldi is one of the largest wine cellars in Europe, and they're in the United States, and they're in Australia, and I'm not sure all the places they're in, but they have a huge reach. And I wouldn't be surprised if this wine is for sale in Europe and Australia and everywhere else. So they can get a quality wine at a very good price. Because for one thing, Aldi does not spend a lot of money on their showing off the wines. In my Aldi, it's where I shop. It's just a end of a row, just thrown together. It's kind of not good at all. It's like the least they could do is what they're doing there. So they don't put a lot of money into the selling of their wine, but the money goes into the wine, and they sell a lot of it. And they are if you're buying wine in Europe and you want a bargain, you want bang for the buck, you go to Aldi. Both Trader Joe's is Aldi Nord, this Aldi's Aldi South. And that's kind of in Europe, inexpensive wine drinkers drink here, especially in the cities that aren't out in the country where the vineyards are. So when you drink these $6 wines, you're not drinking cheap wine. You're drinking like the French do. People who drink wine with every lunch and every dinner, and by the way, they rarely drink at night, wine at night. They go out to have something else. Because after lunch and dinner, you're done with wine. You don't want any more. I think the United States, we might go out and have wine at night. We have a different culture when it comes to wine than they do. But the fact remains that people in France, Italy, Spain are the kings of cheap wine. They will cook all day and serve the meal with a €3 bottle of wine and love the wine and love the meal. We have a different perception of that. I know people think, oh, you can't, if I'm going to cook all day, I'm going to have a $25 bottle of wine. And that'd be crazy in Europe. They don't think that way at all. There's a tool for every job, and sometime a good tasting fruit forward wine is just what you need for whatever you're cooking. These things have balance. This has balance. This tastes great. It might not have the depth of a really good Provence or, from other areas, Bandol and all the other rosé regions, Anjou. Might not have the layers and the depth, but what it has is good. It does just fine for what it is. It's $5.99. The name is Rosé Y'all. Nice label. It's dry. It's not sweet at all. It tastes great. It's what they drink in France. what else do you want? Kind of, it's one of those things. I mean, if you love a certain rosé from some fancy region, or that's fine. If you find wine you love, more power to you. That's a great thing. But a lot of people don't have certain favorites, but not all favorites. And when you don't have a preference, maybe try the cheaper stuff first, and you might just be very, very, very happy where you're at. And so there you go. So that's something to think about when you're talking about cheap wine. Aldi's $5.99 Rosé-Vous 2020 Rosé Y'all. And that's it from us, the Cheap Wine Fighter, Domain Dave. Like us wherever you like your podcast, if you will. And, just push the like button or whatever. I'll be happy. And that's it for me. We got more wines coming up. It's been the COVID has slowed down new releases, so it's not all that easy to find new and interesting wines, but it'll get better in a month or two, and the fall kicks in. I'm expecting a lot of stuff to show up. So that's it for me. Keep it cheap. Keep it cool. Take it easy. And I'll be talking to everybody in a few days. So adios. Bye-bye.